that you haven't properly defined, you're not solving anything. You're just wasting time and effort. These people could define the Russian problem, and then we would seek solutions. Then the Soviet Union went away, and we stopped viewing the Soviet, because you know what makes Americans respect other cultures? Fear. See, if we respect them, if we're afraid of them, then we want to know about them. We want to know the truth about them. But the moment we stop fearing somebody, we stop respecting them. And the moment we stop respecting them, we stop wanting to know about them, because we don't really care about them. We just want to know how we can use them, abuse them, exploit them. And so we went from wanting to study Russia to wanting to exploit Russia. And that creates a whole different mindset. The people that came after, who went through all these education programs, were no longer focused on learning about their enemy, because we feared the enemy and we had to know about them so we could defeat them. It went to, how can I best exploit these people? What are their weaknesses, their vulnerabilities that I can exploit? We didn't care about their history, their culture, anything. It was an immediate capitalist-driven, how do I get as much money out of Russia into my pockets as quick as possible? And so what used to be called a Russian expert stopped being a Russian expert. It became an exploitation expert. It became, something different. And then Putin came in, and Putin said, I'm not playing this game anymore. And so all of our Russian experts today are what I call Putin whisperers. The horse whisperers, the people who go up to horses and the horse does anything they want. The Putin whisperers are people who go up to American politicians and go, Putin, 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 Putin. And suddenly the guy, we hate Putin, we hate Putin, we hate Putin. Blame everything on Putin. You're paying a high amount of gas at the pump. It's Putin's gas tax. You have a bad day, Putin did it. Bird pooped on your windshield, Putin made the bird poop on your windshield. Putin is responsible for everything bad in the world, and people believe it because they're programmed to believe it. Turn on mainstream TV and see what they tell you. And I'm telling you that is so far removed from reality, it's not even funny. The truth is so far different. But, so if the American people empowered themselves, and then they heard the American government say, we have to confront Russia, we have to defeat Russia, most American people go, question, why? Why do we want to do this? And they're not that weak. These guys actually fought a war where they took 27 million casualties. I think they know how to take a punch. And I think as Nazi Germany, they know how to punch back. I don't think we want to get in a ring with these guys. This is like me at 60 trying to get in the ring with Mike Tyson at his prime. Don't want to do it. Bad idea, not going to happen. So, but nobody's thinking this way. We've been programmed. You turn on TV to learn to hate Russia for the most simplistic reasons. We don't know anything about. That's why I said, remember early on when I said when I went over there, living amongst them for a couple of years was one of the best experiences, because I learned that they were people, that they're real. They're not a cartoon character. They're not Boris and Natasha from Bullwinkle. These are real people. These are humans. They invited me in their home for New Year's. And when the guy opened it up, houses are intimate things, because, if you walk around my house right now, you're going to see a pigsty, but it's going to be the reality of my home. I have 3 dogs, I have 3 cats, I have 2 daughters. I can't keep the home clean all the time. That chair needs to have the upholstery fixed. I could just point out the things that need to happen. So, and what it means is this is the reality of my life. So when I invite you into my home, I'm exposing my vulnerabilities. I'm saying, this is who I am. I didn't have a chance to clean up my house. I didn't get that, create that false impression. This is who I am. This is what I am. And I'm trusting you to accept that. These people let me into their homes. And, as an American coming from a society where, we have a house, 2 cars, and all this kind of stuff, to be invited into a Soviet home where we're really talking about a small 2-room apartment for a whole family of 4. All their vulnerabilities are laid out there, and they invited me in. They weren't shy about it. They said, this is who we are. And then I spent the evening with them, drinking tea, drank a little bit of vodka, eating the food. And these were wonderful people. They brought their neighbors in. I got to meet them. You got to see them tell jokes. You got to see them interact. And you went, wow, this is just like an American family, except they're speaking Russian. But it's the same thing. And it was an eye-opener. And then I read the newspapers, I talked with people, and I learned a lot about their society so that I could appreciate their history, their culture, because they are different. Russians are Russians, Americans are Americans. We're not, we have different backgrounds, but when you respect them, when you learn about them and you respect it, different isn't bad. Different's actually wonderful. I'd hate to travel the world to go to places that look just like where I came from. When I travel the world, I want to meet interesting people. I want to meet people that have interesting cultures, and all cultures are interesting. If I've never met it, I want to learn about it, absorb it. Doesn't mean I want to be them, but I want to visit with them. I want to experience them. It's a good thing to be different, but you have to respect them to do that. There has to be respect. You have to view them as humans, deserving of the same rights that you have as a human. And we've forgotten how to do that with Russians. We view them as somehow less than human. And some of the stuff you read on social media is just disgusting about how we treat the Russians, how we denigrate them. And I blame that on the elite, because the elite is the people who have the PhDs, they know better. It's not like they can say, well, we were deceived. No, you have the PhD. You went to university. You had the opportunity to study this, but you chose to play the game. You chose to play the game of, if I want to get promoted within the system, I have to become a Putin whisperer. You chose not to be intellectually honest, not to be a righteous person and learn the truth and head down the path of truth. Because the path of truth in the American system doesn't lead upward. It leads at best parallel. More often than not, it leads down. But that's the path a righteous person takes. The people that sell out are the people that buy into the lie. And with Russia, unfortunately, they buy into the lie. So yeah, do we believe we can beat Russia? I'll tell you, there's no military professional that believes we can beat Russia. I mean, the people that know what I know that, again, like I said, if I'm going to fight Mike Tyson, I better start training like Mike Tyson. And we haven't been. I mean, we used to. I have to tell you right now, when I was in the Marine Corps, I'd get in a ring with anybody. Not me, but me and my Marines would get in a ring with anybody, and we'd win. We'd win. Why? Because I spent 220 days in the field training in realistic live fire conditions to fight the Russian enemy under, the real Russian enemy, how they really were arrayed. And we trained, and nothing comes easy. I mean, you can be a good boxer, then you take 6 months off. You ain't a good boxer anymore. You're fat. To be a good Marine, you got to train all the time. It never stops, ever stops, never stops. Second you stop, you die. We used to do that. We don't do that anymore. We don't have that mindset. We don't have that money. We don't have that budget. So our military, first of all, we spent 20 years running around the Middle East, kicking down doors of civilian homes in Iraq and killing herders and farmers in Afghanistan. I know there's some bad guys out there that we killed too, but by and large, we weren't playing on the big stage. We were playing on the little stage, and we got beat. But the thing is, we forgot how to fight on the big stage, and today we don't know it. Now we're looking at what Russia's doing in Ukraine. We can't fight that war. We don't know how to fight that war. We only know how to go in and kick down doors in Iraq. We don't know how to put 300,000 men online with tanks and artillery in Ukraine like the Russians and Ukrainians are doing.
So do you think the reason America continues to provoke Russia is due to a psyche of exceptionalism and being inebriated off of the power and the influence that the U.S. empire used to have?
Well, it's not just that. Yes, I mean, we are in many ways living in the past, but there's a reality of it too. Let's put it this way. You know that thing we call the American dream that very few people have, a lot of people want to have, and some people will never have? It's based upon our nation consuming X amount of resources because it's expensive to have the American lifestyle. We live expensively. But when you take a look at the resources America has, it's X minus whatever number you want to give. Where do we get that number? From the world. And we can't get it at market prices because then we couldn't live the American dream. The American dream is about living with affordability. So we have to get things at less than market value. Now, how many people, when they go into business, say, I'm willing to sell my inventory at a loss? No one. But we expect the world to sell their inventory to us at a loss. You have to sell it cheap. And if you're not willing to sell it cheap, then we will overthrow your government and replace it with a government that's willing to sell it cheap. We will manipulate your economy. We will sanction you. We will bully you. We will invade you. We will occupy you. We will kill you. That's the American way of interacting with the world.